Now, 7:40, and since Madelaine McCann went missing nearly 2 weeks ago, her parents and extended family have been determined to keep her in the public eye.
And as each day passes, the McCann family have sought different ways to generate headlines. Celebrities, David Beckham, Martin Johnson, have been touched by her plight, and they've willingly lent their support to the family.
Well, Madeleine's aunt, Philomena McCann, has coordinated the campaign in the UK. Yesterday, she met MPs and even spoke to the Chancellor and soon-to-be Prime Minister Gordon Brown.
The family have produced a publicity DVD as well to try to keep Madeleine in the public eye. The 2-minute film was played last night to fans of the two Spanish teams contesting the UEFA Cup final in Glasgow.
Well, with so much publicity, does the McCann's personal tragedy begin to feel like public property? Well, let's discuss that with columnist Sue Carroll and publicist Mark Borkowski. Very good morning to you both. And Mark, if I could talk to you, you said there it's a personal tragedy, but public involvement is the key to ending it.
I think the media is shaping this campaign, and there's a drive, obviously, from the aunt, from the McCann aunt here. But it's an outpouring of grief. It's something we all want to get involved with. They've showed huge solidarity amongst the family. They've showed great bravery, great stoicism, you know, at a very difficult time. Imagery in PR terms is all, and that walk along the beach, gripping hold of the soft toy, everything about it is an excellent idea of how you generate interest. And yes, of course we want to get drawn in, because it's something we all feel very desperate about ourselves. And I think, you know, you've seen the great British public all getting involved because they want to help. And last night's film, you know, in Spain, great sort of moment to actually get your message across, to try and get outside this country, because it has to be a European campaign, because if the child is out there being abducted horribly, you know, you need that oxygen of publicity, you need to direct people to this, and it's a fantastic job that's being done. But the media need it. At the end of the day, 24/7, here we are talking about it. It's a story.
Do you agree with that, Sue? You know, we're so desperate for more details about what may or may not
Well, I
have
think, you know, it's just driven very much by a huge public appetite for what is a harrowing, awful story, but people want to know more and more about it. It's very difficult with a story like this because, you know, making an old story fresh, as we all know, is a very difficult thing to do. So the family have been, you know, you really need the people involved in this to cooperate. And, of course, the family are very media savvy. They really are helping every single day with a different impetus, different idea, different
and that means
angle.
You've got something else to run in your
Absolutely,
newspaper.
but very much is dependent, I think, as well, upon the fact that there is a vast, huge public appetite for this story.
But why, Sue? Why this and not many of the other personal tragedies that take place? What are your readers saying to you?
I think everybody's got a different view on this. It's quite a controversial story in some ways, and everyone has a different theory and a different idea about it. But I think everybody's just driven by this desperation to get Maddie back. And I think it touches absolutely everyone. It creates, the story like this is so emotional, it creates a kind of community. Almost in an absence of religion in Britain, we've become quite fervent about this. We're praying, we're joining together, we're tying yellow ribbons and putting flowers in front of places. It's become very, very, very religious almost.
We're fragmented, I think, nowadays, and these events bring us together.
Together, that's absolutely right.
You know, I think if you go back to Diana, you know, that sort of moment, it just brings everybody to this moment, and this is what this is about, you know. The fact that we are hopeless is not much we can individually do, but as a group of people, we want to show our solidarity.
So almost by willpower, I
Absolutely. Well, they've been very positive. They're talking all the time,
Absolutely.
as they should be.
Absolutely.
And I think we immediately respond to that, because I've got a child, you know, 2 children. I'm certainly been in that situation where you think, my God,
That is the connection, isn't it?
You know,
that's what really strikes a chord with millions and millions of families.
I do also think that it brings back the story of Ben Needham, who disappeared 16 years ago in Greece, and so little was done then. We compare the two campaigns, and there is no comparison. The world has moved on. We're more media savvy. You know, we've got the internet. People are aware of what they can do. But you know, he slipped off the radar a long, long time ago.
I know.
And from the very beginning, this family have said, we must keep this in the agenda. We've got to keep it in the headlines.
Well, I spoke to Kerry, Ben Needham's mum, yesterday, and she said exactly, you know, things have changed significantly. And
Totally.
If you're advising the family now, they've been doing all this, the posters, the DVD, getting personalities to endorse the cause. What would you be telling them? How do they keep it in the public eye?
well,
keep
they're doing a damn good job at
Yeah.
the end of the day, and as Sue said, the difficulty for any publicist is to keep the thing running. How do you refresh? Sooner or later, it started to slip out of the papers yesterday, and then we have this sort of moment with the video and the football last night. You know, we've had runs, we've had politicians. I think it's going to be very, very difficult now. I think what's happening now, we're sucking in these suspects, you know, who potentially keep the story alive. That's the danger for those people if they have no involvement with this. There's a pack of journalists down there who are being forced by their editorial teams, get us a story, get us an exclusive on this. This is a hot story at the moment, and the danger is other people getting sucked into might divert away from the real issues that they've got to focus on. And, of course, Portuguese law, Portuguese police is different from here. We've got Crime Watch, we've got a savvy media that want to get involved with this. Out there it's very different. This is a sort of British thing rather than a European issue.
Well, let's just hope it does disappear from the public eye very soon because we get a positive resolution.
Absolutely.
Thank you both very much indeed.